Hi, hello. This is week 20 of my 50K training series. If you're new here, go back and watch the other videos so you know how this training block went. Because week 20 means week 1 of taper week. I'm doing a 2-week taper. So this week was week 1 and next week is race week. So let's get into it. So we start off with Monday as a rest day, my typical rest day. Just kind of start the week off because I view Sunday as the last day of the week. And that's usually why I do my long runs on Sundays. It's like the last thing I do every week. And then I move on to the next week. And that's why Mondays typically for me is a rest day. So on Tuesday, I started off really strong with a 10-mile bike ride at the gym and then a 6-mile run. Super easy. Just trying to keep things light, easy, and lower mileage a little bit. Not too much, just because it wasn't overly high. Just due to this whole training block being a disastrous mess. And then moving on to Wednesday, I just felt like, I need another rest day. I'm stressed from work, stressed from all the other things. And I'm planning on going up to New Hampshire on Saturday for a long run, little hike with my brother. He's also doing this race. So that was just my thinking. So Wednesday, again, was a rest day. And then moving on to Thursday, I just did an easy 6-mile run. And that went great. And then Friday, I did my last lift of this training block. It was just an easy full body lift. That was Friday. Saturday, Friday night, I drove up to New Hampshire, my hometown and everything, met up with my brother. And then Saturday morning, we drove to, Franconia, New Hampshire, and we hiked a 9-mile loop up like Mount Lincoln or something it is. I don't know. Okay, I did not plan it. I was just like, hey, you take the planning and I will come and do this with you. It was very steep, a lot steeper than what the race is going to be, like climb-wise. Each climb. Like it only was 4K elevation. And the race is 5,900, I think, give or take. But the only thing is, like, we climbed for like 2,500, 3,000 feet. Probably more like 3,000 feet up with very little, flats or downs. Whereas this race is really only like 1,000, maybe a little bit more than 1,000 at a shot that you're climbing up, and the rest is going down and up and down. And so this was so much harder, especially for someone coming from, like me, coming from Rhode Island, where there is not a lot of elevation in Rhode Island. Like, yes, I should have gone to Connecticut, but there are actual mountains and actual elevation. And if you've been watching the series, know that this whole training block has just been a mess. And so there's things I didn't end up doing that I wanted to do. So being able to go do this hike with my brother, there was a little bit of running involved, okay? Like probably a mile worth of running, sprinkled through the whole thing. But it was I struggled a lot. And it was, hopefully this is easier than the race kind of thing, because we did go really slow, which is fine and like necessary and obviously going to happen when you're going 3,000 plus feet up at a shot, like in one climb, versus having it broken down like the race is going to be. So it was great. I obviously, of course, didn't fuel properly. Ran out of water near the end, and just like a whole bunch of things that it was like, hey, Christina, maybe if you thought about this more, you would have had more fuel and you actually eaten dinner the night before and had breakfast the day before instead of just a granola bar. There's like a lot of things that probably would have helped me. But overall, like it went great. Obviously, the next day, Sunday morning, I was sore, so I obviously did a rest day yesterday. That was Sunday. Totally do nothing day. Did literally nothing but a couple things around the house. But yeah, so I'm feeling ready for this race. I'm so pumped. I just can't wait to see how it goes. I kind of have a time in mind that I want to do, and then a time in mind that's more realistic. So I have like I'm okay with this time if I cross it, and it'd be great if I crossed it at this time, the finish line, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do need to still plan out my carbs. Like, I have what I want to eat throughout the race, but I don't have what I'm taking when yet. And I do need to kind of plan out like each little, like, because if you have a gel, you take the whole gel, or you have a package of chew like energy chews, you take the whole package, or you take half of it or whatever. I take all of it because it's, 20 grams versus 40 grams of carbs. I want the 40. So I just take both servings, typically. But yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm having the 50-gram gels from the brand Carbs. Those are great. I'm using the salted original just to help with electrolytes because I am such a salty sweater. I sweat so much. It's actually probably really disgusting. But so knowing that, I know I need to have electrolytes a lot. So I have the salted version of that. So that's 450 milligrams of sodium per gel. So I'm gonna have those probably on the hour every hour. I am probably gonna put like the notifications for like the gel reminder, the fuel reminders on my watch because Koros does that and that's pretty cool. I'm gonna try that out, I think. Also, I'm just gonna be more wary of the time because I didn't really fuel as often as I want to when we did the hike on Saturday, and I just realized like being underfueled going in and then not feeling as much as I should have definitely wasn't a smart idea. Like I survived and I felt fine, but like I definitely afterwards when we finally got back to my mom's house, I could like kind of feel the shakiness of you need food in your system right now. Like we stopped for breakfast sandwiches and coffee on the way home, but obviously my body needed a lot more. So we're having those gels. I'm having Scratch Energy Chews, the raspberry flavor, probably every half hour. So that equals like 90 carbs every hour because if I'm going to eat the whole package, that's 40 grams of carbs plus the 50-gram gel, so that's 90. So those are my like traditional like road runner kind of food and fueling. And then for more of what I consider as not actually being a trail runner, but trail runner food is like real food. So I have granola bars, like I think they're organic, 100 calorie, whatever chocolate chip granola bars I got at Aldi's. That easy, sweet, and I can just eat a couple bites. So I have a few of those that I'll have sprinkled in. I have nerd clusters because as much as I'm not a fan of fueling with candy for like road running and like training for a race, just because you have to eat so many of them that sometimes it doesn't make sense to use candy versus gels, but whatever. You do you kind of thing. Just personally, I'm not a fan of doing that. But for this, I'm already having gels. I'm having chews. I have granola bars, nerd clusters because that is going to be mental, like happy pick me up food. I have Cheez-Its because I love Cheez-Its and I never buy them for myself. And I was like, this perfect. They're salty. They're yummy. It's going to be amazing. And then hydration wise, I have my hydration vest, and that has 1.5 liters of water. And then I'm going to have one of my handheld bottles with a liquid IV in it. And then we only see our crew, so my husband and our friend, at mile 18.5. So, and then after that, we only have a half marathon left. So I have to plan strategically and maybe pack another liquid IV with me. I do have salt stick gummies too. I don't have a lot of them, but I do have a couple packs. So that's also will be mixed up in my energy gel intake because their carb ratio is about the same, 20-ish for a serving and 40-ish for a package. But yeah, so I think I might have to take a liquid IV packet with me so I can refuel the bottle. I don't know. There are a bunch of aid stations we're passing through between, start line and mile 18. But we just won't have our crew with us. Like I'm not doing drop bags because that's 18 miles I can survive. But like trying to figure out water needs because you can fill your water at all of them, obviously. So I have 1.5 liters of water in my hydration pack bladder. Then I'll have the bottle that I'll have liquid IV, so it's like 14 ounces of water. So I may or may not want to have the ability to refuel and re-electrolyte. Probably just have it just in case, and rather have it than not need it kind of thing. And then when I see my husband and our friend at mile 18, I will probably get another bottle with liquid IV if depending on time. If I take another one in the middle, maybe not. But that's either way, a bottle of water at the very least, just because, you know, rather have more water than not. And add the last little bit of gels and chews that I have, kind of unload the trash, give it to them, and that kind of thing. Hopefully just like a pick-me-up of like, yay, finally getting to see someone. Just because I'm so used to road races where there's people most of the way, if not all of the way, depending on how big the race is, and cheering for you and be like, oh, yeah, go you, whoa, and like, all that stuff. Whereas I feel like this race is going to be very much on our own, like no giant, world marathon crowd going on. So it'll be a different kind of racing vibe, but I'm so ready for it. I'm like so pumped. I'm helping my brother figure out his carb ratio and how many carbs he should be taking per hour and whatnot. He knows pretty much what works for his body anyways, because he's a massive hiker. And he unfortunately did so much better on the hike than I did. And me being the older sister, I was like, this is dumb. I'm even better than you. But like he does this elevation all the time, whereas I don't do that. I don't really have access to that as frequently as he does. So there's that. Who knew Rhode Island was just such a flat state? But yeah. So pumped. Next week is hopefully going to be more vlog style is what I'm thinking. I just kind of want to be like, oh, this is what I did this week, and like kind of take you along and actually film in a horizontal way instead of just the normal way. So you actually have content of me like doing all these things I'm telling you I'm doing. On Instagram you see a lot more of it, but I feel like doing like a vlog would be kind of cool, especially because we are having to like drive the 5.5 hours to Pennsylvania, so you get some content there. I'm not going to get content during the race besides whatever my husband films at the start line and at the aid station and at the finish line, just because I need my phone battery to last me this whole race, and I'm not going to be prioritizing content creation. I'm going to be prioritizing surviving and getting across that finish line. So we will not be filming during the race. But yeah, so hopefully next week I'm thinking more vlog style, more taking along day by day, maybe doing like a day in the life of taper week, race week. I think like if you want to know what I'm packing, like what I'm packing for the trip, like what I'm wearing for race day, each and every product I'm actually using, how I'm packing my hydration vest, all that stuff. Like, let me know in the comments because I can create that kind of content. I just need to know you want it, kind of thing. But yeah, so that's all I have for this week. And next week's the last video, or maybe there'll be another one for a race recap. I don't know. So at least 1, 2, possibly 2 more videos. But yeah, so if you want to stay tuned and know how this race goes, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you next week.